Hello and welcome. This exciting episode is a look back at everything I made in February 2023. Perfect jacket. February was supposed to be just pinks and reds, but I did use some pinks and reds. So first up we had a vintage jumper dress from Simplicity 9449, and the wine coloured one is the original, so it's from the pattern with the zip at the side. And then I made two others that were pullover versions. I didn't like this wine colour one when I first made it, but then I put my 1950s petticoat underneath it, the net petticoat, and I put a matching Chanel style jacket on top made out of Italian wool tweed, and now I love it. And then I also made this rose one. It's I still don't really like that v-neck, but anyway, it's a little baggier and it's out of this adorable fabric of floral print of all different colour roses. And I sometimes have the net petticoat under this one as well, but this is what it looks like without. I think just about every other video I've done or short has been with the net petticoat, so I thought I'd show it with. I did cut out the big patch pockets for this, and I fully intended to put them on, but I don't know, I just like them without. So I've kept the pockets, and they're sewn together, and I've turned them out and pressed them and everything, so they're ready to go. So if I feel like they're missing once I've worn it for a month or two, then I'll stitch them on, but at the moment I quite like them the way they are. So this pink one with the polka dots is another jumper dress I made out of my version of the pattern, it's just a little bit more loose fitting. So if you wear a belt, then it's cinched at the waist, but the rest of the time it's just a little looser. So I find it more comfortable, and you can also wear loads more layers underneath it. And I've only made a few shirts, so yeah, I think April will be separates month where I make, lots of shirts and lots of skirts because, I wanted to put different ones under, but that was all I had. Anyway, so then the next thing I made was this Butterick Chanel style jacket. This is Butterick B6328, and I just made it out of a denim weight canvas, so it's a wearable mock-up. And yeah, I quite like it. The smaller size that this comes in, the Butterick pattern, is a size 8, which is fine for most people. But if you, the good thing about Vogue ones is that they come in a 4 or a 6. So they do sort of everyone on the spectrum, which is nice. But this is still a good one, and it is like I have so many jackets. I have about 80 to 100, so it is nice to have a few that you can wear like bulkier layers underneath, I suppose. Then next I made another dress. This was another Simplicity one, and it was S9140. It's this pink one here. I did the long version first. I'm not sure why I bought that pattern. The cover art is not the most flattering at all, and the pink one, I think I like the fabric of the pink so much that I wasn't sure whether I liked it or not. Here it is with a tie. It's a nice enough loose pullover dress. I don't really like drop sleeves. I feel like because I have small shoulders, I feel like it makes me look like a child trying to wear adult clothes. So I didn't really like that, so I decided the next time I make the long one, I'll use the ruby bodice so that the sleeves start at the actual shoulder. But then next I made the short version, and this is so awesome. I think Simplicity should change their cover art for this pattern and put basically one like this on the front, because it's so much nicer than the picture they have, in my opinion. And I just put a fluoro green ribbon on it, and it just looks so adorable. I just think this looks so vintage. It's absolutely what I was looking for. I don't know how I decided that this was the right pattern, because just looking at the pictures, like the illustrations of the pattern, you would not get that this is what it would end up looking like. But to be fair, if you put a 1950s net petticoat under anything, it does tend to make it look as much like a vintage dress as it possibly can. So yeah, I really, really like this one. I'm going to make another cotton one or two at some point, just to make sure it wasn't a fluke. And then I think I'm going to get a metallic jacquard, because I just think if I made this dress in a heavier fabric, with a cotton lining, it would just be sublime. So then I made another long one, but with a ruby top for the bodice. And I much prefer it to the other one, but I feel like it looks a little bit more like a Regency gown than anything else. Not in a bad way, but I don't think either of these look like the cover art of the pattern. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just a bit random. I love both of these. The left sleeve of the red one, I accidentally cut it out upside down. So it's got metallic gold stags on it, or reindeer, whatever. So one of the sleeves is upside down. You can't really tell unless you're absolutely looking at it, but I didn't have enough fabric to recut it. So yeah. Oh, and I'm just pointing out that my Valentina Rockstud handbag will go well with this outfit because it's fluoro green. So yeah, I think that's very cute. And then the next thing I did was the coat. And I think it looks very vintage. I probably should have left a dress on the mannequin to show you this. That's okay. When I shoot all the next dresses, there's 7 to go. So I'll just do a little montage. Oh, here we go. I shot this much later. But this is one of the blue dresses under the navy coat. And then I think I showed you and the other blue dress, because this is a shorter dress with the 1950s petticoat underneath it. So yeah, the coat isn't as full as it could be. Like, it's not going to cover a ball gown is what I'm saying, but it's pretty good. It would cover most formal dresses that you're wearing, which is good. And then I think I put it with a red one underneath. I think this is my favourite combination. You can't really see how awesome the hood is, but it was very cool. Next, I had been hoping to make some Chanel style tweed jackets, or at least one, but I got the most terrible stomach bug, so I couldn't really do much except sit and stitch. So I started a floral jacket in hot pink and red. I'll be doing more of that in March. Hopefully I'll finish it by the end of March. And then that's all the actual makes, but I also finished off some of my ruby dresses, the ones that I sort of started making at the start of January or half made. They needed some lining, so I had to do the lining. I had to hand stitch the cuffs of the sleeves and do the hems of the dresses. So the blue ones got blue lining, the black ones got black lining, the red ones got red lining, etc. And I was just showing you at the top that this is the tropical blue floral print. It's also got birds and butterflies and this adorable frog in there, whereas this blue one is sort of more of an English garden. What I love about this one is from far away the pink looks really faded, but when you get up close it's actually quite vibrant blush, sort of candy pink. And I love how the poppies, they're just daubs of red, but they really look like poppies. And I just think it's such a pretty understated floral. I love this one. I also like how it's a bit of a longer length, whereas the other one with the 2 different fabrics on the left is a midi, and the longer one is a maxi length. It's nice to have both, but yeah, I think most of the time I like the maxi one, but it is nice to have choices. So yeah, I think they are both absolutely beautiful and very different, but I can see how they sort of seem very, very similar to other people. Okay, so that's 2 out of the 7. So next we'll do the red ones, I think. So you may have seen these before, but as I said, I added the lining and I hand stitched the cuffs of the sleeves and did the hem, which these skirts of these dresses are quite full. So yeah, hand stitching those hems is no small feat. You sort of have to watch a couple of episodes or a movie of television or sit through an entire meeting and occasionally put it down to take notes. But I love this Christmas fabric. It's a Scandinavian Christmas print it's like a Christmas village or something with lots of Christmas trees, and I bought about a yard or a yard and a half of this red rose print, and I decided to use half in one dress and half in the other. And I think it was a really good call in retrospect, because I think if I'd used all of it, it wouldn't have seemed so special. But just because there's one tiny tier of the dress is this fabric, it just makes it feel more special. Well, to me anyway. I think the floral dress it's got multicolor roses, then red and pink roses, and then the other floral at the bottom. I just love that dress, and it's so floral. It's gorgeous. And the Scandinavian Christmas dress with the red rose band, I love them both. I'm so happy with the way that they turned out. Again, one is a midi length and one is a maxi length. I love that there's 2 different ones to choose from. So yeah, really happy with them, and they've got the dark red lining, so I think it works really well on them. I also use the same dark red on the hot pink dress. Again, this is what I mean when I say if you put a 1950s petticoat under anything, it just automatically looks more vintage. Because, this looks so cute. It's literally just a ruby dress or Butterick 6677 and with the, pleated down skirt. It looks so vintage. But I also use the dark red, you can sort of see on the inside there. I also use the dark red for the lining on this one. I do have a sort of bright red, a plain bright red. Oh, you can't see it there. It's sort of tucked under something else. So if I decide that this lining is too dark, I'll change it, but I don't know. I don't mind it. I quite like it at the moment, but we'll see after a month or 2 of wears. If I decide it is a bit too dark, then I'll change it. Okay, the end is very near. I only have 2 more dresses to show you, the Sally Kelly prints, and then we are done for the February makes. It was, again, these are 2 dresses that I cut out all the pieces for at the end of December, I think, or the very start of January. Then I made them up in January, but then I didn't line them. I didn't hand stitch the cuffs, and I didn't do the hems. So yeah, the Sally Kelly is just a fabric designer, but I love the Gerber daisies with the apricot and peach, the flowers. The sash is also another Sally Kelly print, and this one is the Paradiso Sally Kelly print. So basically this is the print. The green one is the one that I wanted and I was searching everywhere for, and along the way each time I found a quilting shop that sold Sally Kelly prints. Some of them were really, really old, and I was like, oh, that collection was also beautiful. So I bought a few other bits. This is what I lined it with. It's just a black with floral bits on it, and I didn't really want to make a dress out of it, but it was in clearance and it was a pretty good price, so I was like, oh, I could make quite a few linings out of that. So it doesn't match exactly with the dresses, but it blends because of the lots of different colors in the prints. They match really well and you can't see the lining. It sort of blends into the dress, so I was quite happy with that. I've also got a few more that I need to line, so you'll see them in next month's one if I get around to it in March. But yeah, I'm so happy with the way that these ones turned out. I just love them, and I love that all these dresses are hand finished. It does take time, but it just makes you so much so much happier when I'm wearing them. So yeah, that's everything that I made in February, or finished in February. And yeah, I hope it inspires you to finish your half finished garments or make something new or something vintage. Thanks again for watching, and yeah, next month there will definitely be more Chanel style tweed jackets being made.